Despite their questionable quality, the battle droids of the CIS droid army were pretty versatile, able to handle just about every environment. They could operate in environments ranging from deserts to jungles, from rolling plains to stagnant swamps. They were even able to operate in the vacuum of space. But there was one place that the Confederacy's standard battle droids couldn't fight in: the deep ocean. To accommodate for this, the Separatists produced another droid model designed specifically to handle these conditions, the AQ series battle droid, better known as the Aqua Droid. In this video, we'll be taking a closer look at these little-seen combat droids.
Attention, Sergeant on deck!
For the most part, the surface armies of the CIS and Republic alike were designed to fight on solid ground. On most planets, the depths of the oceans were not only difficult to reach, but usually not worth reaching. But there were exceptions to this rule. The galaxy had many aquatic species, many of whom lived on water worlds. In the Star Wars galaxy, aquatic species tended to be somewhat isolated from galactic civilization due to environmental incompatibility, especially for species that exclusively lived underwater. But there were exceptions, with the Mon Calamari and Quarren of Dak being the most noteworthy. As most of you probably know, the two sentient species of Dak, also known as Mon Cala, played major roles in the Clone Wars. The Mon Calamari, who lived in the shallower parts of the ocean and were the wealthier and more privileged of the two peoples, were generally strong supporters of the Galactic Republic. The depth-dwelling, oft marginalized Quarren, on the other hand, largely supported the Confederacy of Independent Systems. This wasn't a hard and fast rule, of course. Quarren Senator Tundra Dowmare was a loyalist, while Mon Calamari war hero Commander Mirai was a separatist. But thanks to the efforts of the Quarren Isolation League, a separatist faction led by Senator Tikes, many of the Quarren were radicalized to the separatist cause, while many Mon Calamari were radicalized to the loyalist one, making conflict on Dak inevitable. The first such battle happened just a few months into the war, when the Quarren Isolation League tried to seize control of the planet. They received reinforcements from the CIS droid army for this purpose, consisting primarily of ordinary Geonosian-made B-1 battle droids supported by underwater vehicles. These B-1s could operate underwater. While water and electronics generally don't mix, B-1s, like most droids, had insulated circuits that allowed them to operate underwater and even at considerable pressure. But they weren't very good at it. The B-1s deployed by the Quarren Isolation League relied on mini-subs that they rode into battle like speeder bikes, essentially acting as light cavalry. But these mini-subs were only armed with a single fixed laser cannon, and they weren't all that maneuverable. The Mon Calamari and Grand Army of the Republic made short work of them, and in the end, they won the Battle of Mon Calamari fairly decisively. Clearly, just deploying B-1s on mini-subs was not a good underwater strategy for the CIS. They needed dedicated Aqua Droids. Apparently, they didn't trust Bactoid Combat Automata to make their Aqua Droids, as they turned to Hao Chal Engineering, the producers of the Vulture Droid, instead. We suppose this makes sense, since Bactoid was run by Geonosians who lived on desert planets and were generally unused to oceans. Furthermore, Hao Chal was the company responsible for the Confederacy's most useful asset in the Battle of Mon Calamari, the Manta Droid Subfighter, an underwater version of the Vulture Droid that gave the Republic and Mon Calamari a run for their money. With this in mind, we can see why they were chosen to design the Aqua Droid. Hao Chal, in collaboration with the Techno Union, loosely based their Aqua Droids on the B-2 Super Battle Droid. They bore little resemblance, however. Their physique was almost uncannily slim, especially around their hips and elbows, though the droids were apparently deceptively durable. They seemed to have extensive flexibility in their abdomens, in contrast to ordinary battle droids, which was likely for increased underwater mobility. Their legs were spindly down to their knees, past which they became flattened and blade-like. The feet of the Aqua Droid could be converted to double as propellers, which, combined with their blade-like lower legs, gave them considerable underwater maneuverability. In contrast to their extremely thin abdomens, the Aqua Droid had a very broad chest, which made them appear rather top-heavy. The droid's arms were rounded and thin, with armored plates extending well above their shoulders. The droids had 3-fingered hands that were likely compatible with most standard issue blasters, but they mostly relied on retractable forearm-mounted laser cannons. Much like Super Battle Droids, some Aqua Droids swapped out their left arms for rocket launchers, dramatically increasing their firepower. The Aqua Droid's head was flat and only had one photoreceptor eye. This head could partially retract into the droid's body to improve its aerodynamics. Aqua Droids had roughly the same degree of intelligence and capability as the B2 Super Battle Droid, and despite their frail appearance, their armor was about as tough as that of the B2 as well. The Aqua Droid was painted in reflexive chrome, which, if you ask us, only further strengthens their resemblance to the modern Cylon Centurion. Obviously, they were strongly insulated against water damage, and they presumably were designed to handle enormous amounts of pressure, allowing them to operate deep below the surface of an ocean. After all, as we're sure most of you are now keenly aware, pressure is the biggest killer in the deep sea, and since the Separatist Quarren allies lived on the sea floor, Aqua Droids would have needed to be quite durable. Underwater Aqua Droids were a menace to Loyalist forces. They were extremely good swimmers and highly maneuverable, making them hard to hit, never mind destroy. Whereas their B2 cousins were heavily armored but slow and lumbering, the Aqua Droid was both heavily armored and very fast, making them much tougher to fight than your average battle droid. They had more powerful weaponry too. The arm-mounted laser cannon of the Aqua Droid was more powerful than any blaster, able to shoot down light vehicles with ease. The Aqua Droid's only shortcoming was that it sucked at fighting on land. Above the ocean surface, they were just as sluggish and ungainly as the B2 Super Battle Droids they were based on, making them much easier for Loyalist troops to destroy. With that said, these were Aqua Droids, designed for fighting underwater, so this isn't exactly a criminal oversight in our book. Despite their effectiveness, Aqua Droids didn't see too much action in the Clone Wars, mostly because underwater battles weren't terribly common. Their first known appearance was during the Battle of Kamino, when they were deployed from orbit aboard insertion pods hidden in the wreckage of Separatist warships. When this wreckage crashed into Kamino's oceans, the Aqua Droids emerged and began assembling Trident assault craft, which leapt out of the water to attack Topoka City. The Tridents deployed armies of Aqua Droids and standard B1s into the city, nearly costing the Republic its primary cloning facility. However, the Republic won the battle in large part thanks to the shortcoming we mentioned earlier. The Aqua Droids were sluggish when fighting in Topoka City, allowing Republic forces to drive them off and save the city. The only other known appearance of the Aqua Droid came on the planet we mentioned earlier, Dak, which in late 21 BBY became a battlefield yet again. After the first battle, the Quarren Isolation League was driven off-world, but many of Mon Calamari's remaining Quarren remained loyal to the Confederacy, and thanks to the political engineering of Separatist officer Riff Tempson, they went to war against their surface-dwelling neighbors once again. This time, they had the support of Aqua Droids and other new Separatist weapons, and it made a noticeable difference. In the Battle of Mon Cala, the Quarren and their Separatist allies nearly crushed the Mon Calamarian clone forces, even despite the arrival of Gungan reinforcements for the Loyalists. The Republic only emerged victorious after the Quarren turned on the Separatists. With the peoples of Dak united against them, not even the Confederacy's versatile Aqua Droids could stop them from taking back their planet. So that's our look at the AQ series Battle Droid, one of our favourite droid designs from Star Wars The Clone Wars. But what did you think? Would you have liked to see more of this droid line? Feel free to post your thoughts in the comments section below and what you think about this particular droid. As always guys, thank you so much for watching and I hope to see you in the next video.